to WRPB and WRPB Studios. Okay, so the pretty lady next to me I'll introduce in a minute, but I gotta say that over the years, you guys who have followed me know that I've always found this path in estheticians and kind of learning more about that and learning what they do, learning what they shouldn't do, in my opinion, and just trying to figure out who is the best candidate to go to an esthetician and why people go. With me is Summer Kai, right?
Yes,
I get it right?
you
From
did. Thank you.
VELO,
VELO
and
Med
it's
Spa.
Med Spa.
hmm
Okay, my first question to you is, how long you been around the industry?
I got licensed in '03, so quite a while.
So you started when you were two. That's my guess.
Yes, no, I was 20,
Okay,
20, 21.
so the question becomes why? Why did you choose this industry?
I always really was drawn to the beauty industry. I grew up with the magazines, and the looking at the celebrities and the supermodels, and I just always loved makeup and trends and things like that. I started doing makeup very, very young. I was
You're
the
so
girl that
girly.
I am. I started doing makeup for my friends for homecoming and prom, and then I really wanted to be, well, I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And then I figured out that was too high stress, but I still wanted to do something more medical. And I just kind of stumbled into it and fell in love with it. I fell in love with the ingredients. I fell in love that it's ever changing like medicine. This such a fluid type of industry.
Okay, so what does an esthetician exactly do?
So in
Like
the
for
state
you?
for me, so I do different types of facials. I do spa facials, which are very relaxing. I do medical grade facials with a machine called a hydrofacial machine. We can do laser hair removal. I work under a medical advisor.
Okay.
So my scope is a little different because I'm under his licensure. So I can do laser hair removal. We have skin tightening, anti-aging that we do in office. A lot of bioregenerative medicine and aesthetics.
Okay, so this is what I learned, and I'm gonna tell you guys because I waited too long. Laser hair removal.
Yes,
Can't do it once you lose pigment,
correct.
correct?
Correct.
So had I known what I know now, I would have had my. I hate shaving. It's probably one of the worst things in the world.
hmm
And for me, and my skin is very sensitive, but now it's too late.
Now it's too late. Yeah, you
Okay.
have to have pigment. The lasers actually look for the pigment in the follicle.
Hmm.
So the laser that we have, you shave ahead of time, so it's much more comfortable than it used to be. You used to have to let your hair grow out.
Really?
So you would have this awful burnt hair smell in the room, and it was much more uncomfortable for the client. Now it's virtually painless. I won't say that it's completely painless because everybody's pain tolerance is different.
Correct.
But yes, you do have to have pigment.
So we were talking before we got on the air, and you said you don't do Botox and filler.
I do not. So we have a medical director that does that in
Okay.
office.
And I don't. For me,
hmm
I don't really understand it because every wrinkle I have, I earned.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is what it is, and I'm very down to earth. A lot of people come out of Botox and their face is so stiff, and
hmm
okay, and I don't really understand it. But there, I guess there are reasons to do everything.
Yes.
Okay, plastic surgery. If you want to change something, there should be a reason that makes sense. Not, yeah, because I want to look better.
Right.
I want to, if I want to look better because it's going to make me feel better.
Yes.
Okay, not because Mary's going to see me and I'm going to look better, or Sam's going to see me and I'm going to look better.
hmm
Okay, that is, I kind of understand. Are the majority of clientele women?
Yes. We do have quite a few men, though. So Dr. Alvarez, our medical director, he started out as an osteoplastic. So he would do like upper lid surgeries, which we can actually do in office, which is wonderful. He's very conservative in his approach to neurotoxins and filler. Um, we don't, kind of our mission statement is we don't make you look different than you. There are clinics that do that. That's not our niche. You know, you're going to look like yourself, just a little bit more refreshed and rejuvenated.
It's funny that you say that because I had a realtor that came on. She did a great job. She watched her video, and I said, "Do you want a copy?" And she said, "Well, I don't like the way I look, and I have no filter like my mom." So I said, "Well, that's how you look." I didn't know what else to say to her.
Right, I mean.
And she came back 2 weeks later to redo it. And I joke around and I say, it was like a Tinder profile. She had caked on makeup. She didn't look like her. She was a
Right.
realtor. You would never recognize her when she walked through the door. And I think that that's not the mission of what you do.
I agree with you.
Okay?
I agree with you.
And I get it. You want to look a little better, feel a little better, but you don't want to change who you are or the way you look.
Right.
And we were just talking about this cyst that I had in my eye. You guys have been with me forever, and I had it taken out. Everybody says it looks great because I really do heal well, thank God. But I would have left it. It didn't change who I am.
Right.
It changed the way I look, and because I couldn't see it, it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
But when I took pictures of it, and then I saw the before and the after, I kind of got it, especially being on the air.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? But the wrinkles that I have are mine. You can't have them.
No.
Okay, so you started in this industry. Did you have family support?
I did. I was the first one in my family to ever get some type of licensure. You know, I didn't do the college path, but I did trade school.
I get it.
So I was the first person to do that. So they were very proud. My mom, when she was still alive, she made out like a bandit because, you know, she got free facials and products to keep her looking young. And that was always my stick to her, as I would say, listen, you can't have a daughter in this industry and, you know, not take care of yourself. So here, I'll give you all the things that you need to take care of yourself. Yeah, so my family's been really supportive.
So I always say you cannot be successful in an industry if you don't have family support.
I agree.
Okay, so the two things that keep you successful, in my opinion, is family and friend support. Okay, and giving back.
Yes.
Okay, those are the things that I buy into and I believe, and I think they're super, super important. When someone comes in and gets a hydrofacial, okay, is it painful?
No.
Okay.
So even though it uses a machine, it's they call it vortex technology. So basically the tip on the end of the machine helps exfoliate, and it hydrates and cleans at the same time.
When you say cleans the pores?
Cleans the pores, yeah. So it'll exfoliate the dead skin cells. Facials are a great place to start because I can get you cleaner and more exfoliated than you can at home. And what people don't realize is if you don't get regular facials, you can use the $500 creams, but if you have dead skin cells, those creams aren't going to penetrate through dead skin. So you have to get that stuff off to be able to get your products to work where they need to work.
Well, I think they now say that as guys, we lose our hair. Okay, but in the past, had you done whatever it is to keep the pores open and clean, you probably would have not lost as much hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I know that we were talking about PRP.
Yes.
Which is a treatment for your hair.
Yes, and we do that.
Okay.
We do hair restoration.
Shirley I did a trial session to see. A little painful. Okay.
It's your scalp, I mean.
Right. Well, and you have to decipher, is the pain worth the result?
Yes.
Okay. You know, I had 2 surgeries this year for stroke, and they were painful. Was it worth the result? Yeah, it was worth the result.
Right.
So you got to kind of think of that. So what about microblading and stuff like that?
So I don't microblade like for eyebrows and things like that. We do have microneedling.
What's the difference?
So microblading is going to, like you would do it on your brows. You know, it will give you pigment and it will make your brows look, you know, like you have hair there if you don't have hair. So it's great for people that lose their brow hair, which can happen as
Well, my
you
wife
age.
is blonde.
Or
So-
if you're very light, yeah, absolutely. Microneedling is what we call collagen induction therapy. So our skin loses collagen as we age. The only way to kind of get it to produce more collagen is to micro injure it. And when you micro injure it, your little fibroblast produce collagen and elastin, and it tightens and it plumps the skin. It will make your pores look less visible. So pore size is determined genetically. The size of your pores are the size of your pores, but you can make them appear smaller.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can, and that helps with fine lines and wrinkles too, to do collagen induction therapy. So there are other modalities that you can use where you, if you don't want to do neurotoxins or you don't want to do filler, PRP is bioregenerative, so that's wonderful. It's a more natural approach. And
Because
then
it's your own.
because it's your own. Now, the only caveat to that is if you aren't healthy and you don't have good blood, you're not going to have good platelets.
Okay.
So that's something that, we have to take into consideration, especially with like hair restoration, or if you're using PRP injections to help with dark circles under your eyes or to help build collagen and to slowly build volume. If you are not in great health, then your platelets are not going to be in great health.
Oh, that
So
would
you
bum me out.
won't see as big as as good as a result as if someone does it who's healthy.
Okay, so what I got is if you're going to start and you've never been to an esthetician, if you're going to start, you're going to want to start with a facial or something?
I would start with a facial. I always tell people I can come in and do a consultation for whatever you want, but why not get a little, bonus by doing your consultation while you're getting a facial? So, we can talk, we can go over things, I can really get a good look at your skin under the light when it's clean and exfoliated, and I can really kind of see what we're working with, and we can have a really good conversation about what your goal is.
How long does it take for like a basic facial?
About an hour. Normally around 55 minutes.
Is it? I from filming it, which I've done in the past, it looked like a very comfortable thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that might be uncomfortable is if you have extractions. Your pores on your nose, you want to get those little blackheads out. Sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable. I try to make it comfortable as much as I can. I don't ever feel anything, so it's fine for me.
That's true. I hear that. I mean, I was blessed that I really never had bad acne
Right.
as a kid. Every so often I'll get a pimple. But I didn't, like I saw my friends that had bad acne growing up. And I'm saying, well, I'm blessed. But does anything that you do help with acne?
So I actually do an acne boot camp, which is pretty in depth. I take into consideration its whole body health. So it's like a 7-page form that you have to fill out. I ask you about your diet. I ask you about any supplements you're taking. Are you on birth control or do you have hormone
I'm not on birth
issues?
control.
No, well, I know you're not. But a lot of teen girls,
Right.
they think that that's the place to start. Dermatologists really treat acne very topically, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but that doesn't always work for everyone. So sometimes you want to take into consideration an entire body, what's going on. Is it gut related? Is it food related? Is it hormone related? Because if it's intrinsic, something internal, you have to treat that. I can't just throw things at it topically and expect to get a good result.
I mean, there's things that have been around for years.
Yes.
And I see some of my friends try it and it worked. Some of my friends try it and didn't do nothing.
Right.
Okay, so what you're saying makes a whole lot of sense because everybody's body is a little different.
Yes.
Okay, and if you don't have the right combination that works for your body,
Right.
it's not going to work at all.
Correct.
We're getting to tough time. How do people find you?
Instagram's a great place. It's at Summer Kai Skin on Instagram.
Great name.
Thank you. We also
Don't thank me.
oh well.
I have to thank your parents who gave you that name. Go ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
that's my Instagram. I'm also on Facebook under Summer Kai, the VELO Esthetician. We have a website, velomedspa.com. All of our everything that we offer is on the website. So any of those channels are a really great way.
It's KAISUMMERKAI.
And I do actually have a skincare podcast that's on Spotify or iTunes, and it's called It's Not Olive Oil.
Okay.
It's a joke because all the celebrities think that you can rub olive oil on your face, and that's why they look great. It's not what it is. I'm here to tell you. They have somebody in their back pocket that's an esthetician that's helping them.
I remember cucumbers on the eyes.
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, cucumbers are actually very hydrating, so that's why that works. Yeah.
Okay. So, and, a lot of the old remedies do work.
Yes.
If you use them properly.
Absolutely.
And using them properly, in my opinion, and you've heard me say this before, is to use a professional. If you use a professional, you're going to get much better results. And if you don't use a professional, what's going to happen is it's going to cost you 5 times more in money and probably 10 times more in frustration.
Yes.
Okay? I think skincare is easy to do if you don't have any skin issues. Okay?
It's true.
If you have some issues, as we almost all do, you should definitely use a professional and see what path it takes. So, Makai,
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Everybody will be right back.